The MotoGP world has been shaken by an unexpected admission from within the Aprilia camp. Amid the intense competition of the 2026 season, a major regret has finally come to light, delivered directly by a key figure who had previously underestimated one of the most dangerous riders on the grid. What once sounded like a dismissive remark has now turned into a deeply meaningful and pressure-filled acknowledgement. As Marc Márquez's outstanding performances begin to silence doubts, one by one, critical voices are starting to change their tone. But the most surprising revelation comes from the Aprilia boss himself, who must now face the harsh reality of his early season statement. What exactly happened to make him regret it, and how significant is Marquez's resurgence in reshaping the MotoGP 2026 title race? Let's discuss. The start of the 2026 MotoGP season has delivered an unpredictable competitive landscape. Traditionally, dominant teams are now facing pressure from emerging forces, while young riders are competing fearlessly, creating intense battles from the very first lap. Amid all the chaos and surprises, the spotlight has never strayed far from one big name, Marc Márquez. From the beginning of the season, many predicted that Marquez would struggle to adapt with the Ducati Lenovo team, especially given that his physical condition had not fully recovered. On top of that, the rise of Aprilia Racing only added more pressure. However, instead of showing signs of panic, Marquez has responded with a far more mature approach, calm, calculated, and almost entirely free of excessive emotion. On the track, his riding style now appears much more refined and measured. He no longer forces himself at every corner like he did during his more aggressive years. Instead, Marquez is demonstrating a smarter approach, choosing when to attack and when to hold back. In several crucial moments, he seems to deliberately play it safe, as if assembling a larger puzzle that will determine the outcome of the season. This approach reflects a deep understanding that MotoGP is not just about being the fastest in a single race, but about maintaining consistent performance from round to round until the championship is ultimately decided. This transformation also highlights the evolution of his mentality as an experienced rider. He no longer relies solely on instinct and bravery, but also on strategy, risk management, and a sharper ability to read race situations. In an increasingly competitive championship, small decisions on track can have a massive impact on the final standings, and Marquez appears fully aware of that. Interestingly, Marquez himself has openly admitted that he is not yet fully in sync with the Ducati machine he is currently riding. This admission reveals another side of a world champion: honesty, humility, and strong self-awareness. He understands that the adaptation process is still ongoing, both technically and in terms of riding style. Yet behind that lies immense untapped potential. If he can already perform competitively and consistently without being at 100%, this serves as a serious warning signal to his rivals. Meanwhile, the younger riders have been nothing short of sensational, bringing fresh dynamics to the competitive landscape. Names like Marco Bezzecchi and Jorge Martin have delivered outstanding performances with Aprilia Racing. They are not only competitive, but also aggressive and confident in every session, both in qualifying and in races. At one point, they even secured a stunning 1-2 finish, surprising many and sending a strong message that Aprilia has evolved into a new force that can no longer be underestimated. Their early season consistency has become a crucial foundation in the title fight, positioning the team as a serious threat to the established manufacturers. The peak of pressure for Marc Márquez came at the Circuit of the Americas, a track long regarded as his territory and a place where he often dominated with little resistance. But this season, everything felt different, far more complex. Starting from 6th position, Marquez showed early signs of resurgence with a promising race pace in the opening laps. He began to find gaps to attack, resembling the uncompromising Marquez of old. However, a long lap penalty he had to serve, combined with several technical issues that disrupted his bike's performance, halted his momentum. The result was certainly not a disaster, but it also fell short of the high expectations always attached to him. On top of that, his physical condition not yet being at 100% forced him to be more cautious. His trademark aggressive style has now evolved into a more controlled approach, even tending to be defensive at certain moments. Yet, this is precisely where Marquez's mentality once again stood out. He showed no frustration, did not blame the team, and made no excuses. Instead, he remained focused, calm, and continued working behind the scenes to find solutions. This attitude even earned praise from many, including his own rivals. Meanwhile, an interesting dynamic emerged from the Aprilia Racing camp. Team boss Massimo Rivola had previously made comments that seemed to underestimate Marquez at the start of the season. He believed Marquez was not a primary threat in the title fight, especially considering his inconsistent performances and ongoing adaptation phase. However, as the races progressed, reality on track began to tell a different story. Marquez's performances gradually showed significant improvement, both in consistency and confidence when battling at the front. This shift forced Rivala to drastically reconsider his view. He is even reported to have begun regretting his earlier remarks, realizing that his assessment was premature and failed to account for Marquez's competitive nature. Rivala understands that underestimating Marquez is not just a simple mistake. It is a classic error that has repeatedly occurred in the MotoGP paddock. On many previous occasions, Marquez has silenced doubts with extraordinary performances, proving himself to be most dangerous when written off. Now, a similar situation is unfolding once again, and Aprilia must face the consequences of what they once took lightly. In a recent statement, Rivala admitted that Marquez remains a serious threat despite not yet achieving maximum results. He highlighted Marquez's calmness and race intelligence as qualities that are difficult to match. He may not have won yet, but the way he reads a race is different. A rider like him is never truly out of contention, Rivala said. The statement feels like an acknowledgement that Marquez still has something in reserve. He may not have shown his best form yet, but everyone in the paddock knows it is only a matter of time. History has proven that Marc Márquez is most dangerous precisely when he is underestimated. Throughout various phases of his career, he has repeatedly demonstrated an extraordinary ability to rise from seemingly impossible situations, from serious injuries that once threatened his career to difficult periods when his performance was questioned. Marquez has always answered doubts decisively on the track. His relentless mentality and high level of determination make him a figure who can never truly be counted out. When many begin to doubt him, that is exactly when he finds extra motivation to return to the highest level. Now, the 2026 MotoGP season feels like a grand story that has yet to reach its climax. The young riders are at their peak, Aprilia is enjoying strong momentum, and Ducati is still searching for its best balance with Marquez. But one thing is certain, when Marquez finally finds his rhythm, the situation can change in an instant. Will Marquez turn things around and become a title contender in 2026? Share your thoughts below.